Welcome to the Hoop Threads podcast. Here with another prospect spotlight with Omari Chaudhry, 2027 6'3" guard, Jet Academy, overtime elite. Omari, how are we feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
Living the dream, man. Looking forward to interviewing you. Unfortunately, I saw you go off against a local team. You had a pretty good game against Team Mello, and
Mm.
also had a pretty good run through Peach Jam, eventually losing. So why not in the Elite Eight? We'll get to that eventually, but let's do the warm up first. So, what's the best sports drink for you?
Well, for me, red Powerade or just water. It's simple.
Okay, PS5, Xbox, PC.
PS5.
What are you playing?
I don't play video games that much, but I play Madden, a little bit of Fortnite. I don't play 2K.
Who are you using in Madden?
Matt, I just use the Chiefs. Uh,
Oh
yeah,
no, one of those. Oh
yeah.
man. All right. So what's the best basketball shoe and the best non-hooping shoe?
The best basketball shoes, Kobe 6. I wear the reverse Grinches. The non-hooping shoe, I say Jordan 3s.
Okay. Favorite meal. So entree, appetizer, dessert, drink. What are you asking for in your birthday?
On my birthday, so probably get a steak for the meal, appetizer, maybe just some bread and butter, dessert, chocolate cake. Chocolate, yeah,
Keep it a super simple. You drinking water with that too?
drinking water with that.
I love it. All right. What's your favorite basketball environment to play in so far?
um, Probably. I mean, the games at PGM were a really good environment. It was a good energy, but away high school games too, like the student section and the crowds are good environments.
What's your favorite one? What one do you feel like you play the best on?
Um, Probably away games, like when it's a big crowd, the energy's lit.
Hmm. Okay. Tell me about your first dunk.
Well, I haven't caught an in-game dunk yet,
Okay.
but my first dunk was like 2 years ago, but it's messing around in the gym, just try to dunk, and I ended up happening.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll look forward to looking out for that first one. So
Yeah.
talk about how you got started in the game. Did your family play? What's the background there?
My dad got me started into basketball. He played while he was growing up, and he ended up just getting me in the gym when I was younger, and ever since then, he's been training me to be who I am today.
Did he have the same type of game as you, or is it a little different?
Uh, so I think he says he does. He says he was better. I don't know, but he definitely like I play just like him.
We we got to get the footage on that, I guess.
Yeah, we got some footage.
Yeah, I got you, Ozzy. All right. So who do you model your game after?
I don't model my game after anybody specifically. I try to like watch different types of players and score like top players and like pick up little things from everybody, but I don't model my game specifically after anybody.
Okay. When you watch, basketball, what are you watching specifically from the guards and stuff that you're picking up to implement into your own game?
The way they like control the game after a point guard, the way they're facilitating for their teammates and just how they get to their spots.
Okay. Got you. Let's do a self scout. Kind of talk about your game, some strengths and weaknesses, some things you need to work on.
My strengths are I can score the ball if I need to. I can get my teammates involved really well. And I can play defense. I'll get a stop if the coach needs me to. And my weaknesses, I'll say my two weaknesses probably like getting in better shape and my athleticism.
Okay. I think that's pretty accurate. I haven't seen a ton of your games. I think I've only seen you play two or three times, but I think you play with really good pace without being like overly quick, and you're able to get guys off you to create some space, like with the shoulder bump on the drive and stuff like that. I think, like you said, adding some more burst and just kind of like putting on upper body weight to being able to finish through that contact and
Mm-hmm.
just the vert to be able to finish like, over or around guys. Being with OTE will definitely help you with that weight training for sure. So, how do you prepare for each game the day of? Kind of take me through your routine.
The day before the game, I was probably stretch a lot, make sure my body's like ready. Try to eat a little bit healthier before the day of, but I don't do anything specific before.
Okay. You have any specific pregame music?
Pre-game music, bump Gunna before the game, few small rappers, but Lil Baby, Drake, and then other people.
Okay. Uh, you just finished, you finished your first season. Kind of talk about your freshman year, and some differences in the game at the high school level versus the middle school level coming up.
The difference between the high school level and the middle school level was definitely like the competition and like the players I was playing against were definitely older, stronger, faster. Everybody was, ahead, I guess, of body wise, but I was able to keep up because of like my skill set and stuff like that. In the transition, it took me a minute to get used to, but I ended up being fine.
Okay. What was the high school you played at again?
Osborne High School.
Okay. So what's the difference in role between, your role there this past year, high school, the role you play for your AAU team, and now
Mhm.
heading overtime elite? What do you think that'll look like in all three of those spots?
So at Osborne, my role was kind of like to be a scorer. Like I had to score the ball to make sure we was in the close game. In AAU, my role is really to be a leader. Like I just need to make sure all of my teammates around me are ready and on point, and make sure I get everybody else going first. And at overtime, I don't know what my role is going to be, but whatever role the coach needs me to play, I feel like I can do that.
Okay. No, that's a good answer. Talk about choosing AAU team. You were with Game Elite and then you ended up going to Jet Academy. Talk about what went into that decision-making process and how that first season went for you on the EYBL.
So the decision to go on the Nike circuit was to just go play against the best teams across the country and get that exposure on the Nike circuit. And I feel like our first year on the Nike circuit went pretty well. We won. We had a good year. We had a really good year for a first year program.
Yeah, okay. Talk about a time that you faced adversity and some of the tools that you used to navigate through that time period.
I was looking at this question. I don't really know. I don't try to think of an answer for that.
Haven't hit that adversity yet, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have before, but I couldn't think of a certain time.
Okay. Well, been playing as a young player with some grown men in OTE. We might have to revisit that in a
Yeah,
couple months.
re revisit that question.
I got you. Talk about your gym schedule. What parts of your game do you feel like you've been working on the most, and what do you feel like you've added to your game since the end of the high school season?
I've been working on my shooting, my ball handling, just making sure I can hit shots consistently and handle the ball. And what was the next part of that question?
What parts you've been working on the most, and what do you feel like you've added to your game since the end of the high school season?
I mean, I've been working on everything, like everything I can work on since the high school season ended. Like just trying to get in better shape, just like everything I can do.
Okay. What do you do that makes you stand out from the competition? We kind of talked about some strengths earlier, but what makes you stand out, and how do you feel like you'll contribute to winning at this next level?
Like you said before, I think what makes me stand out is like my pace and my poise that I play with. Like I don't let nobody speed me up on the offensive side. And I think I can contribute at the next level because I just want to win. Like I'll do whatever that takes to win the game.
Especially with overtime elite, man, there's a lot of scorers around you, a lot of
Uh,
bigs that can finish plays. I think just stepping in there as a pure point guard, making sure that the ball's getting to where it needs to get to, while also, making sure that you're taking advantage of your own scoring opportunities, but being
Right.
efficient, especially as a youngin coming up. It's going to be kind of a wait your turn and work on things type year, I think, until you progress. But maybe you're ahead of the curve and you're hitting the ground running straight out the gate. So we'll see how that goes. Tell me a part of your game that you feel like flies under the radar or is undervalued.
I think my defense, like people don't really like see that, but if, like I said before, if I need to go out there and guard the best player, I'll go do that.
Hmm, I got you. Communicating goes a long ways.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the time as a point guard, you set the tone for your team in that instance. And if you're calling out ball screens or doing the same, your teammates have to pick it up, because then if they don't, it's really going to make them stand out in a negative way. What parts of the floor do you feel the most comfortable and the least comfortable right now?
What parts of the floor? I feel most comfortable maybe like on the wings, like middle. I'm not really. I don't like the corners too much, but
What
at
is it
least yeah,
about the corners that you haven't, you don't like that space?
corners. Baselines there. It's like an extra defender, like, and then you most likely get trapped in the corners too. So I like to stay up top.
Okay. Game winning. So let's rank these three in order of importance to you. So one being the most important, and then kind of working your way down. Game
All
winning
right.
assist, game winning bucket, game winning defensive stop.
Okay. Number one will probably be the game-winning bucket. Number two will be the game-winning stop. Number three will be the assist.
Okay. We'll have to revisit that one too. Let's see how it looks like after your first year. What are some things that you think are really important to you, Omari, on and off the floor as far as values? What are some things that are important to you? What are some things that you really value in the people that are around you?
I value my family, like my support system. Just make sure like people are like rocking with me, like people supporting me and like my dreams and stuff. That's really what I value.
So just like honesty and kind of,
Honestly, like just keeping it like real. Like so, yeah.
okay. We're a long ways off from this, so we're not going to talk about specific schools. But as far as college recruiting goes down the line, what are some things that you think you and your circle will be looking for as far as offensive system, defensive system, coaching style, play style, East
Not too
Coast, West Coast? You're trying to go to big school, small school, big
I
fish.
don't think I want to go to like one of those big schools. I might, but somewhere where like like where it feels like home, where like the coach is gonna let me rock let me rock out, so I could play my game, and just where I fit, like where it seems I fit in the system.
Okay, gotcha. Tell me about some of your interests and hobbies off the court. What are you doing when you're not playing ball?
When I'm not playing, I don't really do too much. I might go hang out at the mall with my friends, watch Netflix, just chill. I don't really do too much.
Okay. If basketball didn't work out for you, God forbid your career ended tomorrow, what would your plan be for the rest of your life? It's a tough question to ask a sophomore, I know, but
Yeah, question. I really don't know if I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really thought too much about that. Maybe like get into a business, like real estate, something. I'll figure something out.
what are your favorite subjects in school? What do you enjoy studying right now?
Social studies. Um, social studies, a little bit of science. I'm not a math guy.
I got you. No, I wasn't either. Talk about some goals that you have for this upcoming season.
Um, my goals like to work my way in, like to get minutes at overtime, develop my game so I could be ready for next year, the next summer for EYBL, just or just grow as a player mentally and physically.
Okay. What has been your happiest moment on a basketball court so far?
Happiest moment. Um, I don't know. When we beat Arizona Unity, I was pretty happy. It was a get back game because they beat us in one of the sessions before,
Hmm.
and they were supposed to be so called like the best team in the country, and we ended up knocking those off. But that was probably my happiest moment I could think of right now.
Big win.
Yeah,
Talk about playing against Delton Prescott on that AZ Unity team, because I'm actually going to interview him at some point later this week.
okay. Delton's really good. He's a good point guard. He's fast. He knows how to score and get his teammates involved. So yeah, he's pretty good.
Cool. Okay. What sets Atlanta basketball apart?
I just feel like down here in Atlanta, dogs like we. It's a lot of good players in Atlanta, so it's like, yeah, I don't. I don't know what really separates us, but
I guess like when you play in basketball locally, how does it feel different from when you play teams from across the country in AAU, or you play in big tournaments against out of state teams?
well, locally the competition probably isn't as good as teams out of state. Like, yeah, like playing teams out of state are probably better than the teams down here in Atlanta.
Okay, gotcha. What is your why? Why do you work so hard at the game? Why do you make so many sacrifices? Why is it so important to you? Talk about your why.
Yeah, my why is my family. Like, everything I do, like the reason I am continuing to play this is so I can help my family out.
Gotcha. Okay. And what do you eventually want your legacy to be, on the court? What do you want to be remembered as down the line? Again, a big question for a sophomore, but
Um, I just want to be remembered as like a winner, like overall, like he just wants to win, and just a good player. Like people remember my name.
cool. Okay. Um, really appreciate the time, Omari. Looking forward to watching you play the next 3 years and down the line. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.